The resentful female mind never ceases to amaze you, right? But we are reaching new levels that humanity has never seen in its thousands and thousands of years of written history. Women have never been this delusional. They have never resented reality this much. They have never said the opposite of the truth to this degree. And I think that you can very clearly correlate it with the demonization of masculinity, because masculinity is actually technically a very sophisticated apparatus for synthesizing reality and embodying it in a way that is useful and actionable to transform the environment into something better. So, and because feminists resent that apparatus, that mechanism called masculinity, they end up going in the completely opposite direction, which is the antithesis of reality.
I just feel like a lot of guys are insecure.
About what?
I don't know.
The fact that you men on camera?
This is getting epic, guys. We're leveling up. I think we are reaching, honestly, delusion levels that the planet has never seen. I want you to listen to this.
That I do what I do, but like...
What I do, I won't acknowledge what I do, because then it would be confirming that objective morality exists, and I would be judged as an individual, even though my ideology tells me individualism doesn't exist, because Marxism doesn't believe in individual accountability for actions or objective frameworks.
I want real love, and a lot of people are just... It's like fake. I don't want...
Why can't I get real love? I sell my body for $2 on the internet.
I actually think that it's an insecurity for a guy to value like sexual exclusivity.
I feel like it doesn't matter like if I like doing what I do.
Remember, this is the girl that said God wanted her to do pornography and Satan wants her not to do pornography. Next level. We're getting next level here.
He should accept all of me.
He should accept, dude, it's so perverse. Can you believe that a human says words like that? He should accept all of me. This is the antithesis of anti-accountability. People, you got to put the pieces together and recognize this is coming directly from the Marxist ideology that says there's no such thing as individual identity, and it demonizes accountability. Marxism is infecting the minds of women that hate masculinity. That's exactly what you're seeing here. That's literally what you're seeing, and she's admitting it in front of your face.
He should accept all of me.
He should accept all of me, not judge me. Any type of objective framework or individual accountability is literally oppression. If he judges me, that's oppression and insecurity. Anytime they have an opportunity to say the opposite of the truth, they do it. They don't just lie, they say the opposite. So notice that she's calling completely secure, coherent, moral masculinity insecure. So she's not just saying that they're wrong. She's saying the opposite of what's true. He's not willing to put up with my pure form degeneracy and reality denial. That must be his insecurity and not mine. It's no longer right versus left. It's anti-reality versus reality.
I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, and there's a
Oh my gosh, the author OnlyFans girl. I agree with that you're saying. See, what you got to understand, guys, is that these people are not interested in truth or reality. Those are not priorities for them. They are not prisms through which they operate. They ask themselves, what violates my ideology that tells me I am by default a good person, to adhering to the dictates of Marxism, the leftist ideology? What gets in the way of me saying there's nothing that should hold me accountable, that everything is socially constructed, that there's no right or wrong? Okay, let me side with that. They don't care about what makes sense. The opposite of what's true is what's worshipped by them. That's the reason why they worship at the altar of incompetence and incoherence. The left is incoherent fundamentally.
Well, of men, you know, that are...
It's so great. This woman walks around life thinking men are insecure for not wanting to date her because she sells her body for $2 on the internet and says God wants her to do OnlyFans and Satan wants her not to do pornography. That's where we're at.
Confident and would accept what you do.
Yeah, definitely.
So good. These podcasts are great. You can tell why feminists hate these podcasts, because they allow the delusion to be voiced and then everyone scorns them endlessly.
Cucks.
Both cucks. You have to be confident to be a cuck. You have to be very secure in your...
Wow, okay, so yeah, they are saying the opposite of reality now. This is next level.
Cucks, you have to be confident to be a cuck. You have to...
Wow. I mean, this is straight up psychopathology. This is psychopathology. The new form of psychopathology that's being transmitted to women via Marxism is something approximating anti-reality and pure degeneracy. It's degenerate femininity is the apparatus that produces anti-reality, where you say things that are anti-reality. Every single thing, literally 100%, there hasn't been one statement that these women have said in this video that has been true. It has all not only been a lie, it has been the opposite. So they take what is true and then they say the opposite of it. This is the psychopathology of the left, and it preys on feminine temperaments and low verbal IQ. So proclivity to abide in left-wing authoritarianism has been measured as a feminine temperament and low verbal IQ.
To be very secure in your masculinity to be a cuck.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like, you're gonna get angry.
Wow.
I just feel
Yeah, it's the opposite of... So, guys, the reason why I'm showing you this is because you should understand that humanity is facing an existential threat from the resentment of reality by Marxism. This resentment of Marxism manifests in feminism and manifests itself in destroyed women. Obviously, I understand that these are some of the most mentally destroyed women on the planet. I understand these aren't average women, but all women are under attack from this to some extent. This is just the ultimate form of it, where you have them saying the opposite of what's true in every single sentence. But the fact that this exists should make you think to yourself, why does this exist? But it is the resentment for reality that Marxism holds, as well as the resentment for all things objective and coherent. So any type of objective framework renders their ideology incoherent, because then they're accountable to something other than their ideology, and the world isn't socially constructed as postmodernism insists. This inability to contend with reality as a psychopathology is being manifested everywhere in our culture. Check this out too.
We've had more professors suspended or dismissed in the last 10 or 15 years than we've had since McCarthyism.
Right, that's an inability to contend with reality.
When I was in college, campuses were where you went to hear the other side, right?
So you should ask yourself then, what is the architecture of that thought process that results in people not being able to tolerate objective reality and in fact demonize it actively?
That's how you rounded things out. If there was a speaker coming that was totally on the other side, you went to listen to them. Now students think it's okay to shout down somebody you disagree with. If you don't listen to them, you get rid of them. What's that?
Right, that is actually, guys, the architecture of Marxism right there. Any person that disagrees with the leftist ideology is labeled a bad person so that you don't have to contend with what they have to say. It's obviously deeply evil, but this is the epitome, this is at the heart, this is at the core of leftist philosophy. It's the reason why they don't like free speech on X. For the exact same reason they hate accountability and they hate individuality that corresponds with that accountability. They can't stand people pointing out the fact that they're living in a delusional way. It is pure narcissism, it is pure resentment, and it is actually degeneracy, and technically measured psychologically by a feminine temperament and low verbal IQ. The way humanity has been shielded from this mental debauchery, from this pure degeneracy, from this anti-reality pathology, has been historically masculinity. But masculinity has never been demonized until 20 years ago in the way that it's being demonized. Never throughout the entire history of humanity has it ever happened. So masculinity has been the answer to this. But as, countless women are telling themselves that objective frameworks are our oppression and masculinity is oppression and inherently toxic, they are divorcing themselves from reality, experiencing record rates of anxiety and depression, and they're on antidepressants, and they're ruining their lives. They're saying, I don't need a man, I don't need a family, I'm going to be a boss queen, I'm going to work for $30 an hour for the rest of my life and, retire miserable. But then I'm going to resent men, say that the reason I'm miserable is men's fault, and then they're also going to resent women who had families. So Marxism is destroying the lives of women in real time, and they're demonizing the antidote, which is masculinity. People need to start talking about the fact that masculinity isn't just good for men in the world. Women need it, and without it, they go insane and say things like this. To conclude the video, I'm just going to show you guys these same women trying to answer when World War II happened. The answers are, well, staggering.
Okay, going around the table, question for the ladies. What years did World War I and World War II occur, starting with you?
Okay, let's see. Oh, let's get enlightened by these geniuses.
War I, 1952.
Okay, great. World War I, 1952. Okay, we're on track.
World War II, 1970.
Oh, this is good stuff.
Molly,
Next.
what about you?
Okay, so this is the girl that just said that she agrees that men are insecure for not wanting to date a woman who sells her body online for $2. Also, when that woman says that God wants her to do OnlyFans and Satan wants her to not do OnlyFans. Okay, so she agrees with that. Let's hear her explain this.
I'm guessing World War I, 1928, World War
Okay, cool.
II, 1938.
She had specific numbers. That's not a guess.
Yes, that's my
Oh my God, she had specific numbers. I mean, she said, I can't even paraphrase this level of delusion. I don't know what it's like to have a mind that's this destroyed. Oh my God, she said syllables that sounded like an answer. Like, what is even going through her head right now?
Guess is 8.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm not gonna guess like a specific number. I sucked for a living. Like,
Nice. All right, good. All right, very nice, very nice. So yes, average women are not like this, but they are still under attack from the same pathogen, from the same psychopathology, they're experiencing the same pressure from society to demonize masculinity, and even in micro instances are experiencing the negative side effects of that resentment, whether that be demonizing masculinity or telling themselves, oh, I don't need to have a family, I can push that off until I'm 32. But then those guys that they want to start a family with at 32 are dating the 25-year-olds who are more feminine, less damaged by resentment, but then that's a positive feedback loop cycle, because then these women think, oh my gosh, it's the men's fault that I'm single and I've made all these wrong decisions, masculinity is evil, they get thoroughly indoctrinated. So even these micro instances, all women are experiencing this. All women are incentivized to deny reality by the left. So this is widespread. This is a problem. Like and subscribe if you understand that this is a problem and if you understand what I'm saying, because this is very important.